Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rumble and Roar podcast. I'm your host, Lenoria. And guys, this is the very nice, wonderful Pam Ross with United Way of Greater Atlanta. Thank you so much for being on my show.
I am so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me today to be here, and I'm so excited to share all the good things that we're going to be talking about today.
Especially being the month of April. Guys, this is April. This is April, and it has come in with a bang. I love April, and I love outside, but sometimes it doesn't love me with these allergies. And I know if you live in Georgia like we do, this pollen is doing its thing. But it's okay because we love our April.
Yes.
And like you said, we have a lot of stuff to go over and a lot of things that happen in April.
Yes.
Okay, so today's topic is April's chapter. This is definitely a chapter to be talked about. Celebrating and protecting childhood, guys. There are many things we recognize and celebrate in April. Sexual abuse, child abuse prevention, autism acceptance, alcohol abuse prevention, military children's well-being, stress awareness, Parkinson's awareness, National Walking Day, 404 Day, which was yesterday, wasn't it? Was it yesterday or day before, or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so along with these marquee events, April brings a host of others, including fun observations like Rainbow Day. Never knew that.
I didn't know about that.
I know.
Day. You were sharing some stuff I didn't even know.
Okay, a World Party Day.
Wow.
I should have known about that. We should have had a party.
Wow.
Pajama Day. National Scrabble Day. For those people that like to play those word games, National Scrabble Day is in April. Look it up. Hairstylist Appreciation Day. Oh, I need to, appreciate my hairstylers. Me.
Me
my
too.
wigs. And guys, Denim Day. I got my denim.
Day. I got to celebrate Denim Day. I didn't know that.
I didn't either until I looked it up. Denim Day, and I have my flower. I am ready. We are welcoming April. Okay, so let's start with NACY's, Week of Young Children. People who might not be familiar with NACY's, Pam, tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so NACY's week and / month of the young child, how we celebrate it in Georgia, is a way for us to advocate and celebrate children, educators, and community around the well-being of children. And when we do that in a number of different ways of how you can celebrate month of the young child. And each day or each week can celebrate different things. Like the first week can be around music. The second week can be around creativity around art and things like that. And you can have a topic for each day that represents something that's actually going to build children's wellness and readiness.
Yes. Well, I love that. It's fun and meaningful, and how the experiences shape the development, you know, of the brain.
Yes.
That's really good. Okay, so April is also Child Abuse Prevention Month. Why is this so crucial? I'm not just asking Pam this question, I'm asking you guys this question. We all know that it's very crucial.
Yes.
But being an advocate, as you and I are, of children, why do you think it's so crucial?
Well, we want to make sure that nationally we're celebrating child abuse and neglect on the well-being of children, because we are their voice. And we have so many children that are in peril situations in home environments and in their communities where they're not safe. And we need to provide support, understanding, and education around what does that mean, which means that we need to offer parenting classes, we need to offer
mental health
classes for the families, because usually what the statistics have shown is that usually when children that are abused, then they usually are abusers too, to their children. Until you learn and educate yourself around something that's new. And so this is a national call for us to advocate for all children to keep them safe. And also to help parents understand what development is around children. Child development is really key. So if I understand, I can't get mad at a 2-year-old who's crying because that's part of their development.
Right.
And I can't just spank them or
their development, their communication. That's how they let you know things,
Yes.
especially when they're not verbal.
Yes.
I mean, you cannot make them talk. You
Yes.
know.
Right.
And not just the 2-year-old, but what if they're younger? They how can they respond to you? That's how they tell you, I am wet. Wah wah. I'm wet. I'm hungry. Whatever the case may be.
Yes.
And without the knowledge, and you don't know, then you're feeling that this is more of a burden than a communication.
Yes.
When that child is communicating.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's why all this seamlessly goes together, and even with teenagers. You know, we all been teenagers, and we
Been
all
there,
thought
done
we
that.
knew everything, and we were so grown, and we didn't know everything. So we kind of had a little mouth. I know I did. I had a little mouth, and so, but luckily my mother was educated enough to kind of help me, you know, navigate that and not get angry and want to like lash out at me.
Yeah.
You know, because I was running my mouth, and so we have to educate around that. So from the youngest to the oldest, we still always are parents, and even if you don't have children, it's always good for us to understand around what is needed for children in their development and to help prevent child abuse. We want to be preventative. We want to be preventative. So as much as we can do beforehand,
right,
before we get angry, before that child, we want to be proactive to the situation so that we can prevent it. That's what this month is all about. And speaking of that, one of the symbols of prevent child abuse is the blue pinwheels. And so if you're riding around the city or you're in your community and you see the blue pinwheels, or if you want to go out and purchase something to actually advocate and you be an advocate for prevent child abuse, this is one symbol that you can actually use to do that.
So is it just blue, or could it be a pinwheel of any color? Is blue that represents
Nationally is the blue is represented for the prevent child abuse. Now you can put any ones out there, and the people will probably still ask you why you got those pinwheels in your yard. You can still use that, but the national color is blue.
I think those would be cute in your garden.
Yeah, and kids like them too. So if you have them, they're not that much. They're not expensive, so you can get some. Give them out to some kids, or give them out to a family, and then they will ask you, "Why did you give me this?" And then you can actually explain and be an advocate around child abuse and neglect.
Well, I'm gonna leave some of those for my parents. You gonna leave me some?
Yes,
okay,
I'm gonna leave you some.
I'm gonna leave you some.
You can have some. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, because we know you're a strong advocate.
Yes.
You're a strong advocate for children and families.
And I have such a Okay, guys, we are in a storm, so disregard the boom boom, but we're still here with you, and I'm so sorry for the interruption. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. We're still here, and we haven't got lights out yet.
Light. Yes, exactly. Okay, so you know what? I read that kids who are read to regularly are exposed to over 1 million words by the time they start school.
Yes.
By the time they start, 1 million words. And let me tell you, when my granddaughter, Danella, was born, there was and I don't have to tell her nationality, but I'm just gonna, she a Jamaican woman. She said before she walked out of the room, Pam, I tell you, she was such just a wonderful person. After she got ready to leave, she said, well, my shift is over. Another lady's coming in. She said, but remember, Mommy. She looked over at my daughter-in-law. She said, remember, Mommy, read to her every day. Even if it's only 30 minutes, it's going to make a big difference in her life. And I just looked at her. I said, thank you. Thank you for telling her that. Even though I was going to tell her that anyway, and Grandma was going to read to her anyway, but for someone else to tell you that, it's a plus to me.
Yes.
And we do. Oh my gosh, she is a smart whippersnapper. Oh, girl.
And that's your baby.
And that's my baby, y'all. Yes. She is very smart. You should. Okay, let me bring it back. Okay, speaking of literacy, you have a big event coming up.
Yes.
Something to boost the literacy and the importance of it. Right. Okay, what tell us?
So, in addition to all the lovely things that Lenore has already shared in reference to all the things that are happening in April, also another thing that's happening in April, it is week of the librarian. It's the month of the librarian to a week of the librarian. But anyway, it celebrates around literacy. And so in the essence of that, we are hosting our 16th annual DeKalb Partners for Early Learning Collaborative Early Literacy Festival. And that is going to be on April 26th from 11 to 2 o'clock at Results Central. And we're going to have lots of fun there. We're going to have literacy games for the children and families. We're going to have an author. Our own host here will be an author there and sharing her story with her book.
Sitting here waving like
And we will have Jerry G. White, who is a author and a storyteller and a percussionist who used to be with Children's Museum. We will have all different types of prizes and literacy bags for the parents, because remember we talked about all of these. We want to actually make sure that we're also promoting all of the things we're talking about. So we'll be sharing those things at the Literacy Festival, like the Prevent Child Abuse information. We'll be giving parents information around literacy and the community around literacy and why it's important for that. And hopefully we're going to have the librarians, so the families and the community can sign up for library cards, because we know that libraries are stable in our community. And they actually provide, when children do not have any kind of books or anything at home, then they can go to their local library and actually begin to read, because reading is powerful and reading is knowledge. And we know there's many children that can read early, and we should be reading to our children even when they're infants. It's not about if they understand the language, it's about building their brains up for the pathways for language to be happening, because children are they're receptive learners before they actually can recite the words.
Absolutely. That's where it starts. They have to receive it. I mean, read to them so they can really want to be able to do this for themselves. You know?
And so each child will get a free book. We're trying to build children's home literacy library. So hopefully all the children that will come will get 2 or 3 books according to their age group and their development. So we have that. We have lots of community partners that are helping us bring this together, such as Lenore and her agency. So we're so excited about that. And we're so excited that we can come here and share about the event that's going to be happening there. And so we're encouraging everybody to come out on April 23rd to help us share and uplift literacy for children and families in our community.
Okay, and that's April 26th?
April 26th. I'm sorry. I have so many things going on.
There is something on the 23rd as well.
Is something that education for educators, that we're doing a training around school transition and literacy and things like that. So I apologize. April 26th is the information, and hopefully Lenore will actually put this out. It'll be on the link and the QR code for more information around what that is.
What at the one on the 26th that is going to be? It's going to be for the community, right?
Yes.
And what exactly will I know that we're going to have a station where we're going to be reading to the children, but what other things? Did you bring the
stations?
Yes, we're going because I know that there was one for sensory.
Yeah, we're gonna have like 10 or 12 different kind of stations that are going to be set up for the children and the families to participate. And each station will be fun, but it's going to be literacy driven. So children are going to be able to make literacy hats, and they're going to be walking around with their little literacy hats. They're going to be able to do like toss for a letter, and then each station will give a prize or a book. Okay. We have community agencies that will be coming, and they will be actually providing literacy activities for the children to do, and then they'll be giving away door prizes and things like that. We're going to have things where children can write, they can create, they can do all kind of things that happen with literacy. So we're so excited about all those different stations that are available for that children will be able to do. And we're going to have it set up like a bingo card. So you have to go around and actually go to each station, get a stamp, and come back, and then you get this big prize at the end.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
And this is the 16th.
This is going to be the 16th time we've done it. It's a little bit different this time because before COVID, we had that. We used to invite all the like 20 pre-K classes,
Schools.
to come, and we used to have over 425 children that will participate. But since COVID,
Wait, hold up. Did she say 425 children?
Yes.
That's a lot, Pam.
yes, we had a lot. It was a big task, but
Wow.
we used to have all the children there, and they used to bring, and we kind of set it up. It used to be at the DeKalb Recreation Center. That was used to be in partnership with Atlanta Journal and Constitution, their DeKalb Book Festival. But since COVID, many of the schools do not do field trips anymore, like outside field trips. And so now
And they still don't now today?
well, they're moving back a little bit.
Slowly
into
but
it.
surely.
Slowly but surely, they're moving back where children are doing outside field trips. And so this year, the committee decided that we're going to actually make this a community event.
Okay.
And so we're going to make it a community event. So now it's open to anybody to come on the 26th to come and participate. So we want everybody to come, bring your families, get the word out. It's free, and we want to make sure children have fun, learn, and play.
Yes.
And actually build their home library.
And so did you give them the address? I know you gave them the time.
The address. The address where the location is going to be at Results Central, and that's going to be at 2532 South Harrison Road, and that's in Decatur, Georgia 30035. And if you can't remember the address, you can remember Results Central, and they will post it up.
And it'll also be at the end of this.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Pam, is there anything else that you think that you could add to our April chapter?
Well, I also want to share that April is also Autism Month.
Yes.
And we want to be able to recognize children that have autism and that are on the spectrum, and that's around neurological kinds of things that are happening with them, and that we are advocating for learning environments and for materials and support to their families, so that we know that all children do not look the same and all children do not learn the same, and so that we can actually have advocacy and education around what does that mean and how do children respond to that and how do we support that process.
Okay. Well, during the month of April and throughout the year, communities are encouraged to share child abuse and neglect prevention awareness strategies and activities and promote prevention across the country.
Yes.
We want to do that. And National Child Abuse Prevention Month recognize importance of families and communities working together to prevent child abuse and neglect. Prevent services and support developed by this collaboration can help parents, other caregivers, and community projects, children, and strengthening families. And that's pretty much what you just said. I wanted to hear it from you first, and then I had to read mine. But yes, we want to be here for the children. It was something else that the 404. That's for the 404 we did not long ago, 2 or 3 days ago. It was told to me, please make sure you tell them the 404 in April is really for Georgia.
Yes, for Georgia. And I think it's more for the city of Atlanta honoring their 404 zip code.
Exactly.
And, and marking that as a historic, because I think that's the first zip code we had in Atlanta. It was 404. Everybody used to have 404. Look how much we've grown.
Yes.
We have all different kind of zip codes now, 6, 7, 8. We have all. Everybody used to only have 404. So that was a big, huge thing. And I think they've been celebrating it. But I did see that on the news yesterday they had a parade. And they was actually said that next year they're going to start making it an annual thing. And that parade was very big. I think I saw a glimpse of that. And that they had to, I think, for 3 hours had to kind of shut it down in different places, or so it can calm down because it was so many people. And it was almost trying to get a little bit out of hand, but when you get a lot of people together like that, in order to bring it back and calm it down, they did that, and it worked out. And he said he is going to be a lot more prepared the following year. Okay. So it was something that was pretty good. It was a pretty good turnout. Yeah, because I just learned about it. I didn't really know anything about it. I was doing something. I think I was doing a training or something, and they announced it. And so that's how I kind of found out about it. I was just about to say I never knew anything about 404. I did. I didn't know that it was a zip code, but I didn't know it was something that we celebrated. Yes.
Okay, so what else could we, because April brings a lot.
So many things. The military.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I'm a military brat. And yes, the support that military children need, because they are always moving.
Yes.
Transitioning.
Yes, they're transitioning many times. And transitioning is a huge readiness type of development that we need, that people take lightly, that when children are transitioning from place to place to place, even children that are
so
typical in a steady place have a hard time transitioning. So can you imagine
Just
a military child that's
school.
every 2 or 3 years they have to change
To a new country.
to a new
sometimes.
country.
Yes.
They have to get used to all new people, new friends, new learning styles, new all that. Their parents have to get used to new environments, and that makes it really hard.
Well, before, I think we talked about this maybe a year or so ago. It has its pros and cons, guys. Military. Moving all the time. The good thing about it is, okay, if you're just really sick of where you are and you're ready to go, just move on. It's like, yes, I'm out of here. But the cons is just learning, leaving your friends, learning new people, meeting them, and starting all over. Is like, oh man, that is not as so like you just said. It's like school, going from elementary school to middle school, and then from middle school to high school. Yeah, pretty much the same.
And all of this feeds back into what we was talking about, the April being the month of the young child, and that advocacy that goes in that, because we want to make sure that the social emotional that happens when children have to, even with parents, when they have to do that, a lot of transitioning is really hard.
How do we get them ready for that kind of stuff, though?
Yeah, I think a lot of education and preparing in time. You know what I mean? Letting them know, letting them have experiences of the new environments and things like that before they get there.
Right. Like, what is it? Pre-K, when you bring them to their class, and let them meet their teachers or someone.
Yeah, so all that, because many times the adult will go and see the new place, and the child never even got to experience the new place until they get there.
And then it's like, oh my goodness, that separation anxiety. This is a new place, mommy. Yeah, prepare them. Yes. Okay. Well, what else, Pam? What else do we have for April? Because we had a lot. And
we had a lot. We had a lot that we needed to talk about. And I think we kind of covered a lot of the major ones that we had.
Yes.
But what I would like to say is that some of the call to action things that we can do from around the April is that one thing that we can do, you mentioned earlier in reference to reading to children. And not only reading to children, but having conversations with children, increasing their language development. Because what we know is that most children, especially children that are in high-risk kind of environments, that they enter the school system 25,000 words less than their counterparts, which means that they're always playing catch-up on where they are for their academic success and readiness.
And all it took was a little time every day.
And all it took was a little time a day. So one thing we can do is, if you can read 15 minutes a day to your child. If you have a conversation with your child. Because a lot of times, we have the computers now, we have the laptops, we
and
have
those
the tablets,
and sit them in front of
like that. But it's different when a child when you have a robotic kind of language tone is reading to a child, as opposed to if they're reading, this is the little lamb, as opposed to this is the little lamb. Because now you're showing the excitement and all these different kind of things, all that goes into reading, and that's why we need to do those kind of things with our children.
And come down to their level.
Yes.
Don't read to them as if like you're an adult and you're standing over them, because it just doesn't feel right when they're looking up or looking at you and they feel distant because you're reading something. Pretty much, I'm piggybacking off what you just said. You just have to get into the moment. Get into with your child. It doesn't take a long time.
No. And we know the 2-year-olds can read too. Okay, 2-year-olds can read before we even know they can read. Because we know that when we're in that car, they know that McDonald's sign. Okay? And so we're connecting the McDonald's and Wendy's and all those things. So we're going to use teachable moments to teach language and literacy.
I have a toddler. Well, no, this is a baby because, well, he just turned 1, so he's going into the toddler. But he knows. I can say HI spells. He goes, hi.
Oh,
his name is Rizani Soria.
Oh, that's
and he
wonderful.
already know. And I can say arms up. He'll raise his arm. It's because we have flashcards that we, show them every day. And the little ones from, and he was doing this before. I said baby. And the reason I said that is because he knew this before he turned 1. He just turned 1 last month.
Yeah, and we know the first stage of reading is picture reading. So even if they're not reading words, because you read pictures first, you read that this symbol represents something else, and that's the first stage of reading.
Exactly.
And so that's where we want to expose children to as many opportunities like that, so when they get ready to read, they're ready. They're ready to go.
They're ready.
Yeah.
Ready.
Yes,
Put some fun into their reading.
And we're wiring their brain. We're wiring, just like if you're walking a path. If we had a patch of grass, and that if we walk that patch of grass every day, guess what happens? It builds a pathway.
Right.
And that's what happens in our brain.
Good analogy.
When we're doing,
yes,
when we're doing cognitive and we're doing these kind of developments, that's what happens to our learning development. So we want to make sure we're practicing giving all those different opportunities for those brain development and all those wiring to happen, so we can have successful children.
And making that pathway to that brain,
Yes.
that development, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to be doing in our festival. We're going to have lots of opportunities to start building those connections.
Building them.
Yes.
Yes. So, with that said, anything else?
Okay, so I got off a little bit of track.
Yes.
So reading, let me give my little list of little advocate things that you can do.
Yes.
Read to your child 15 minutes a day makes a huge difference.
Yes, we just covered
Visit
that.
your local library, and they have story hour time that you can go to free. So looking that up and seeing
that's
what time
good.
that offers and having that. Also, if you're going as a family, it gives you the opportunity to kind of be together and have that kind of support, as well as signing up for a library card, which is free.
Yes.
And I just learned at another training that I had, that I know that the CAP library has where you can actually, if you don't have a laptop or computer at home, that you can go and rent a laptop or computer at the library for 30 days.
Well, that's good to know.
I didn't even know that happened. You can do that now. If you have a library card, you can actually go and get a laptop or a tablet for 30 days and rent it out.
Oh, that is so helpful.
Yes.
And that's very
you
good
can check it out. Like you check out a book, you can check out a laptop or computer.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just learned that. So I want to make sure I pass that information on to everybody, that you can go and actually get, if you have any kind of technology that you have needs for, you can actually go to your local library and
They
get
should have
that.
that information in the schools in case a child, a high schooler can't afford one or don't
Yes.
have one unless they give them to them themselves.
So I'm glad I have the opportunity now, because I just learned this like last week, so I have the opportunity now to share that with you.
Oh, yes.
Another thing is wear blue. You see, I have on my blue, and I did the little blue, the pinwheel for prevent child abuse. So that's one symbol that you want to do. Share all this information that you can on your social media.
Yes.
And on your tools and your resources. Share anything that you feel like that we've shared with you around April month of your child. Share it with someone else and
on
put
your
that
job,
out. On your
with
job.
your coworkers,
Yes.
especially if they have children.
Yes, all of that. Grandparents.
Yes.
Because grandparents are the other mother or the other father
Yes.
that's helping us with our children.
Yes.
So we want to make sure they're abreast and knowing what's going on. You can donate or volunteer to an organization that's supporting children and families. And last, you can attend our 16th annual Early Literacy Festival on August 26th. That's going to be from 11 to 2 at Results Central off of South Harrison Road.
Yeah, for those listening, the parents, teachers, maybe someone who new at Child Advocacy. What's something simple they can do is just make a difference.
Is make a difference.
They can make a difference with the things that Pam just told you. I mean, and it doesn't take a lot, guys.
No.
But it has to be done. It's not, we don't want to downplay it, and we don't want to stress you because this is stress month as well.
Yeah,
we don't want to
is.
stress you, but it is so important, and we need to do it. This is something that needs to be done. And I know we all have very, very busy schedules, and we don't really have a lot of time, but we have to make it. And yes,
Yes.
15 minutes, like you said.
15 minutes a day
Yes.
can make a difference in a child's long-term future for their school readiness and academic success. And their confidence, you know what I mean? Because if I feel confident and I have that, it's a pattern in me. So now I know that I'm assured that I'm not scared to read. I'm not scared to try. Even if I can't.
Even if you can't, you're not afraid to try.
Right,
That
right.
is huge. Because you still, even if you read to a child, even if you show them the pictures, well, pictures are pretty much easy, but when you read to them, sometimes they still can't get it. But they still won't be afraid because at least they were exposed. They know that, let me try this.
Yeah.
It might not work for me, but I saw this word before. Somebody has done this with me. But to not have done it at all,
Right.
and just leave them to the tablet to teach them.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah, and also we need to model what we want children to do. So children need to see us reading. They need to see us reading. They need to see us doing things. They need to see us shutting down the TV, getting off the phone, and actually having a book or having something that they can read. Because even though the tablet you swipe, but when you're talking about reading the book, you actually have to turn the page. You have to take your fine motors and move the page to another page. You have to actually anchor it. So there are a lot of skill sets that happen. Those skill sets help you with their writing when children go to school. All those different skills that we think are insignificant,
Right.
are very significant when we talk about children and learning and their development and them growing and their with their academic success.
And you think it's
readiness.
insignificant and you think it's not a big deal because you yourself has been doing it a long time. But understand, children, everything is brand new to them. Everything. So don't get bored with, oh my gosh, they know this, or I just don't want to do this because it's so,
And also make sure, and we also want to make sure that we are using these skills according to children's development.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not going to give a 2-year-old a chapter book.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
I'm not going to give a teenager a toddler book.
Okay. They have to know that.
We want to make sure that we are educating, and that's why this is important. The things that we're talking about around April is important because it's more about education, educating yourself, educating the community, so then we can do better. Because when we know better, we do better around what we're doing with our children and families.
Well, guys, with that said, I think that we have work to do in this wonderful April month. Yes, we have work to do. We've given you a lot of things that are going on. Please apply them, do them. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been such a rich conversation, don't you think?
Yes. I think we shared a lot of information around several things that are happening in April. And we've highlighted what they mean, the significance of what they mean, and how they are, and then also how we are doing our part to champion that in our community with our literacy event. I keep mentioning that our 16th literacy event is going to be on April 26th. So come out and share with us and be with us and actually get some things for your children or the children in your community, and partner with your community around all the things that we talked about in April.
Get something out of it yourself.
Yeah, get something out of it yourself.
And doing something with your children.
Yes.
I hope everyone listening feels just a little bit more inspired to celebrate and support the children in their lives, in their community today.
Yes.
Pam, with that said, I want to thank you again for being here and sharing information that is vital, and just sharing your knowledge, and we would like to thank other supporters, the supporters that I got off of your memo, and DeKalb Partners of Early Learning.
Yes.
I would like we want to thank the supporters of Boy Scouts of America, Life Path, AJC, Decatur Book Festival, United Way of Greater Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay.
And the DeKalb Partners for Schools.
Thank you, honey. Yes.
And we have another agency that's working with us called Seed. They're from Boston College.
That's right. I read that.
We have several people, and we have community leaders like you and authors and that are helping us and supporting this. We're so excited that she's going to be coming and bringing her book, and she's going to share. She's such a great author, and she's such a great storyteller. So we have all that, and she will be giving her book away to children to build their home library. So we are so excited that we have that people that in the community like you that love and actually work with
Come
children.
on out
to do
and
that.
support this community
Yes.
event while we support you guys. That's what we would like for you to do.
Yes.
Well, with that said, feel the rumble and listen to the roar, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and like my channel.
Yes, please do that.
And next week, the episode will be Aging with Grace, 30, 40, and beyond. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.